Hi, I'm Alan. If you watch a lot of TV shows or a lot of different movies, you may have a twisted and wrong idea of what Ireland really is. Maybe you think there's a pub on every corner, or maybe you think all of the people are red-headed and all of they pray to Saint Patrick. Well, think twice before saying this to an Irishman. The Republic of Ireland is so much more than that, and that's what we want to show you in this video. So let's get to know some of the Ireland. So first of all, where is Ireland? Is it here? No. Is it here? No, but that was closer. Ireland is right here. So let's get a little bit closer. Meet the island of Ireland. The first thing you will notice is that there's a division. The northern region is part of the United Kingdom, and the southern region is the Republic of Ireland, which we will talk about in this video. But talking about the island itself, it is bounded on the north by the North Channel, on the west by the Atlantic Ocean, and on the east by the Irish Sea, which here you can see. The territory is mainly composed of a central plain whose weight above sea level varies from 60 to 120 meters. Ireland has mountain ranges such as Wicklow, just south of Dublin, which is the capital of the Republic of Ireland, and McGillicuddy's Ridge in County Kerry, which has the highest mountain in Ireland, the Carranto Hill. Ireland occupies an area of approximately 84,000 kilometers and has a coastline of almost 3,000 kilometers. It is one of the largest countries in the world. Actually, it is in the position number 20. We know, it's really hard to imagine the real size of Ireland. So we have a picture in here so you know how big the Republic is. This is a picture of Ireland compared to Mexico. I hope you are as impressed as we were when we first saw the picture. Ireland only occupies certain parts of the states of Chiapas and Tabasco. So, how can such a small country be so influential in politics, ethical conflicts, and culture on an international level? Well, to answer that, we must go back in time. So let's start with the Irish DNA. Where do these people come from? The blood in Irish veins is Celtic, right? Well, not exactly. Although the history that used to be taught at school said that the Irish were a Celtic people who had migrated from Central Europe, the latest studies of Irish DNA tells a very different story. Actually, many people still refer to Irish, Welsh, and Scottish as Celtic culture, which is wrong. The assumption has been that they were Celts who migrated from Central Europe around 500 BCE. Genome sequencing performed on remains of early settlers in Ireland by researchers at Trinity University in Dublin and Queen's University has revealed at least two waves of migration to the island in the past millennium. Analysis of the remains of a 5,200-year-old Irish farmer suggested that the population of Ireland at that time was closely genetically related to the modern-day populations of southern Europe, especially Spain and Sardinia. Her ancestors, however, originally migrated from the Middle East, the cradle of agriculture. Let's talk a little bit of history. Celtic Ireland, the time between the Bronze Age and before the coming of Christianity in the 4th century AD, is often looked on as something of a golden age in Irish history. And this is because, at that time, the island was home to a rich and flourishing culture with legendary sagas, beautiful metalwork, and a rich oral literature of poetry and history. The language spoken across the island at that time was Ancient Gaelic. Because the language shares its roots with Welsh, Breton, and Cornish, among others, the culture of the island at this time was known as Celtic, so to speak. According to medieval chronicles, Christian expeditions began at 431 and 432 with the arrival of Bishop Palladius and Saint Patrick, Ireland's patron saint, to teach and convert Celts. They taught Celts the Roman alphabet and codified their tribal and social patterns to Christian practices. This was the beginning of the Druid and Celtic collapse. Between 8th and 9th century, Vikings began to invade from where we now call Scandinavia, and then gradually settle into and mix with Irish society. Following the defeat of the Vikings at Clonfert in the year 1014, the 12th century saw the arrival of the Anglo-Normans. After the arrival of Henry II, King of England, in October of 1171, the island adopted a feudal system. In this time, the wholesale confiscation of lands and establishment of English colonies continued until the 18th century, where the treatment of the Irish reached a brutal climax with the penal laws. And what were the results? Well, the 19th and 20th centuries saw the rise of the Irish nationalism. The known War of Independence happened when the Irish Republican Army waged a guerrilla war against British forces in 1919. And this happened until a treaty was signed by the Irish and British authorities in December of 1921. In 1949, the Republic of Ireland was formally declared and left the British Commonwealth. And this is the beginning of the Republic of Ireland, the one that we know today. The United Kingdom and the Republic of Ireland joined the European Union in the exact same year, 1973. Of course, the relationship between these two territories was based on the membership of the European Union. As we said before, Northern Ireland belongs to Great Britain, so after the Brexit, many people expected to see some problems between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, such as the Northern Ireland peace process, underpinned by the Good Friday Agreement or Belfast Agreement, which was a peace agreement between the British and the Irish governments, and most of the political parties in Northern Ireland, on how Northern Ireland should be governed. These problems and others were partially fixed through the Ireland/Northern Ireland Protocol, which creates special arrangements for Northern Ireland to avoid a hard border on the island of Ireland. The Irish language is the national and first official language of Ireland, in accordance with Article 8 of the Constitution of Ireland, the other official language being English. However, according to the Irish census of 2016, of the 1.77 million persons, only 1.7% indicated that they spoke Irish daily outside of the education system. This is one of the reasons why, in order to avoid the loss of this element that represents a strong point of cultural identity, the Irish language started to be taught in schools all over the country. In fact, the Irish government has made the use of the national language mandatory in documents such as passports, and it is a language required for important procedures. This ensures that the language is not lost. We have already reached the end of our timeline, the Irish diaspora. Definitely, one of the reasons why Irish culture has remained in the global collective consciousness is its diaspora. Yes, all those people outside their homeland who have influenced and contributed to this world in so many ways. And hey, there is another example of the diaspora of Ireland. Did you know that Halloween is from Ireland? Yes, you heard right. It was brought to America by Irish immigrants. It is a Celtic festival called Samhain. Even though the Irish flag is really simple, you can recognize it in a second. So let's talk a little about that flag. The Irish flag is composed by 3 vertical bands of color of equal size: green, white, and orange. The green alludes to the Nationalist Party, and the orange to the Unionist. The white represents the peaceful join of both. In religion, green refers to Catholics, and orange to Protestants and Roman Catholics. And if you really want to know about the Irish diaspora, let's talk about beers. Guinness is the most popular Irish drink, which was first introduced by Arthur Guinness back in 1859 and has since been a symbol of the Irish culture. This video would not have been possible without the help of Mr. John Dennon, to whom we are infinitely grateful for having given us some of its time so that this video would have the correct information. So thank you, Mr. John Dennon.